purpose of this video is to show you how to replace an amplifier. We have several different amplifier assemblies. This is probably the most tricky one, so I'll show you how to replace the amplifier with the banana jacks on the back. You're going to want a couple tools. I'm going to use just a small Phillips screwdriver and then a small flat head just to open it up, and then some needle nose pliers. So first thing you're going to do is remove these screws on the back plate with the Phillips screwdriver. See if I can just get these out. Okay. And now on the bottom of the amplifier there's two more screws that actually secure the amplifier setting, and they're on the left and the right. So just unscrew these. Tricky doing this with one hand here, but here we go. Okay, and just the last one. Brace this as I pull the screw out. And when that last screw is out here, we're going to be able to pop that back plate off. So you'll just pull it. You might need to use that little flat head to just leverage that open a little bit in a spot where you're not going to scratch the back plate, like right there. And you may need to give it a little bit of a yank. Sometimes they get stuck on there. So just pop that off, and then just pull that amp right out. Pull straight out, and you can see here, I'm just going to angle this so you can take a better look at how the banana jacks connect into this back of this amplifier. You can see there's 4 wires that connect right into the back of the jacks. So you need to depress these tabs on the amplifier. If you take a look at those black and those red tabs down at the bottom, you can do this a couple of ways. You see you can just push them with the screwdriver. I'm going to use a flat head just to show you how you can depress this tab, and then you can pull the wire out. Now when you're removing the wires, it's a little bit easier than when you're putting them back in. When you put them back in, you're probably going to have to use those needle nose pliers and that screwdriver or your finger to depress the tab if you have small fingers. But I'll show you. So you just kind of angle it with the needle nose. If you have tiny fingers, you might be able to do this, but I prefer to use the pliers just so that you can depress the tabs. But if you can also depress all the tabs at once here. So I'm just push them all, and then you see they dropped right out. So that's the easy way when you're removing it. See how these tabs, they're just spring loaded, so they'll push against the wire. You want to be gentle with these tabs. Don't push them too hard at weird angles if you can help it, because those little springs can angle out of place, and they're very tricky to get back into place unless you've done it a few times. And so reversing the process, this is a little bit more challenging part, where you need to reconnect these wires back into the new amplifier back. You can see these 4 different spots. Go back into our back of our amplifier here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this because I need 2 hands. I won't be able to show you with just one hand how to connect it, but it's going to be a process of one hand is going to use these needle nose pliers, and the other I'm going to reach under there and depress that tab so that I can open up that space and get the spring and that clip to grip on the wire. And you just want to make sure that the silver is pushed right in. It just has to make a good connection, you know, so if you're 3/4 of the way in or mostly in. Alright, so here I am. I've got this all connected up, and I'm going to push this back into the amplifier assembly. So I'll just push it right in. I'm going to flip it upside down and line up these holes. You see the screw hole in the bottom of the amplifier case. I'll need two hands to do this as well, so I'm just going to angle this and put these screws in here. Just make sure they're lined up. So here I've just cut over to putting these in. And now if you look on the back plate, you've got these last two screws that I already started. So just that's it. There's two screws on the bottom of the amp and then two on the back plate you're going to replace, and just make sure everything is tightened up. And there's not too much more to it. The only other things you're going to want to do is just check your settings when you on your new amp as you move things around. Make sure the master volume is at about 3 o'clock if you're the US or Canada, or about 1 o'clock if you're on a Euro or 240 power standard. And that's about it.